Let's go through LeetCode code 621 task scheduler. For this question, it gave us a cherry tasks. And it said that these tasks must be at least n apart. So it let us to return the minimal numbers of the intervals to complete the tasks. So it asks the minimal length, right? So for example, this A, so you say that the n is 2, right? Example A, and they need to, so for A, they need to be at least 2 apart. That means that they must have two space here, right? And then we have B. B will be something like this. And if we want every number to be 2 apart, for this one, we can have to be only empty, right? So the total length will be 8. And the second example, A appears twice, B appears twice, right? And there is C and D. How can we handle C and D, right? So you see that this character need to be at least n apart. This is 1, right? And originally we set this kind of as one space, right? We just put C and D here, right? So the total length will be our task's length. So intuitively, what to think about is that we get the largest frequency, character's frequency. For example, we have a C. It appears 4 times, right? And then if this n is 4, right? For example, n is 4, and we need to have 4 spaces here. Right? So what do we think about if a C appears, for example, m times? So there are m minus 1 spaces here, right? So what we think about is for the rest of the characters, whether we can fill out this kind of empty intervals. So what we think about is that we also doing from the largest frequency, right? So what we do is that, for example, there is A. If A also appears 4 times, right? We put this one as this. And then if there is B, and B, if B appears 3 times, right? Do something like this. So this kind of interval, if there is C, right? C, put a C here, C here. And then if there is D, right? And we can put D here. And then in this kind of direction, right? So D appears twice. Then if there is E, right? We put the E here. And if there is F, for example, F, we put F here, right? So if we set the highest frequency, just as like buckets, and create those kind of empty arrays, right? So we have a space that is m minus 1 multiplied by n, right? So we try to see if the rest characters we can fill in these kind of spaces. So if they fill them out, then we return the tasks length. If we can, we still left some kind of spaces, right? Then we will return the task length plus the space, right? We didn't use. So let's begin to write code for this, right? We have counts. We need to count the frequencies, right? New int 26. So what we do is for every character say in tasks, and we have counts C minus A plus, right? Then what we do is that we sort, right, arrays sort this counts. And we know the max frequency is counts 25, right? So what we do is for the things that here is we use the max frequency as a bucket, right? And we use a rest to fill this kind of interval, right? So in this case, we just iterate from I to 24, right? Smaller than 25. Trying to see whether they can fill this part. So we write for int I equals 0, I smaller than 25. I plus plus, right? So if counts I smaller than, let's have this, what we want to fill, right? So we have interfill equals, if this counts I equals max frequency, then what we do is that we can have if it is the same as max frequency, right? What we do is that we put this here, we set the rest here, right? So we use the max frequency -1 into these kind of intervals. So what we use is max frequency -1. Otherwise, we use count sign, right? So we have space minus equal to fill, right? So in the end, we say if return space if we smaller than 0, right? We use out of the space smaller equal to 0. Let's say if this is greater than 0, then we need to have the task total length plus space. Otherwise, we need to be task dot length. Let's have we need to have the space, right? So we need to in space is max frequency plus, -1, right? Max frequency -1 and multiplied by n, right? So we have max frequency here. So if this is m, so there is m -1, this kind of segments. Okay, let's convert this one to Python code. So we know counts equals, let's create a 26 array, right? And we needed to do for C in tasks. We'll have counts. We need to have this as do like this, right? C minus A plus equal to 1, right? After we count, we just sort it, count, sort. Then we'll say max frequency equals counts 25, right? We can also use this -1 for Python. So we'll say space equals max frequency -1 and multiple by n, right? So what we do is for and I in range 25, right? Because the last one we already used. So we'll say and fill equals we'll write max frequency -1 if counts I equals max frequency, else, right? Else counts I. And we'll have space minus equals to fill. And then in the end, we just return so it is also length, right? Length tasks plus space if space greater than 0, else length is okay.